Alright, so, in review. First and most important rule, knowing when you enter the pan, from C to D, C sharp to D sharp, or whatever pan you're playing. Second most important rule is, by now, it's probably common occurrence, just knowing the pattern in general. Whether it's an F major pattern, whether it's a D pattern, just understanding the pattern itself is that now that you've understood that no matter where you start from, once you know the first and most important rule, which is the entering of the pan, if you can do one, you can do them all. Which is why I said earlier, there's no need to write the notes on the pan, because it's not about knowing where the notes are, it's just knowing the pattern, okay? We covered the major scale, we covered that major scale's relative minor scale. In this video, I want to knock out the pentatonic scale, which is really easy, and then the blues scale, which is, well, we'll get there in a second. So, we covered major, we covered relative minor scale, once again going back to F, because why? If you could play an F, you could play anywhere. An F pentatonic scale, it's a really simple scale. It was the first scale that I just would kind of do little ditties in, because it keeps your predominant notes, for the reason of, and I don't know, once again, I said I don't teach at Yale or whatever. I'm here for God's sakes. But if I'm playing like an F chord on a piano, it's going to keep its root notes, which is going to be F, A, C, F. Okay? It's going to be F, A, C, F, and it's going to sound like this. You'll know it once you hear it. You've heard that in classical music. They'll do it. Canon in D has done that. I think even like the last half of the song, they do singled out notes for the chord. So that's an actual chord, okay? And this is why the pentatonic's important, because it keeps those major ones and kind of cuts out the unnecessary, even though they're necessary as part of the scale. So, without further ado, the pentatonic scale is going to be, once again in F, it's going to be, you're going to drop the fourth and you're going to drop the seventh note, which means it's going to be F, G, A. You're dropping this, so you're not going to play that. So you're going to go straight to C. So, F, G, A, C, D. You're dropping the seventh, so you're not going to play the E, and straight to F. So again, F, G, A, C, D, F, D, C, right, A, G, F. I apologize. Which is going to sound like this. So that, it's got like an Asian thing to it, and that's not racist. So that's the pentatonic scale. Once, it doesn't matter where you start now. You want to do a G pentatonic. G, A, B, D, E, G. G, and then backwards. I don't do good. I'm only good at playing it. It's weird to do because I haven't done this in a long time. So, but it's the same thing. You know, the first original three. G, skip. A, skip. B. And then it's the two in between that you're going to play. You're not going to play the outsides anymore. And it's going to be D, E, G, E, D, B, A, G. This is the G pentatonic scale. Same pattern no matter where you play. Alright, that's the pentatonic scale. So you're going to want to take some time. That one will be really easy, because if you already could do a major, you can already do a pentatonic. The next one, which is the most important skill that I've ever learned, that was the most important that was ever taught to me, is going to be the blues scale. So, going back to F, F major scale. You know, we've already done that. F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F. F major scale's blues scale is going to be, I'm just going to call it the D blues scale. I don't really know, and that can't be right, but it doesn't matter because this is my video and I can do what I want. It's going to start on D. So, the relative blues scale to whatever major scale you're playing in. Alright, I'll say that again. Whatever major scale you're playing in, whether it's F or G or A or C sharp, to get the blues scale of that major is going to be the same scale as its relative minor. Okay, so that's why I'm saying I'm going to do a blues scale, a D blues scale, which I know isn't right. So, F major's relative blues scale, which once you play this, it's like a game changer. It's a beautiful scale. It gives you a lot of like edgy notes. It's going to have one chromatic in it, and you'll hear it in a second. Is going to be D, F, G, G sharp, that's the chromatic up to A, C, D. Alright, this is what it's going to sound like. So that is, if I'm playing an F, but I want to do a run on something and I want something with some sass, okay, that is going to give it a whole new world, and that's going to be your first, outside of the pentatonic, that's going to be your first additional notes that go on to kind of open up a whole new world. So, F major scales. F major, relative minor and blues scale is going to be that D, which once again is D, F, G, G sharp, A, C, D. And then once again, like you practice, you know, do it one way, but then carry it from the very beginning all the way inside. So you would go D, F, G, G sharp, A, C, D, F, G, G sharp, A, C, and then one of these notes in here is going to be a D, okay? And then work your way out. So, what that would sound like, I'll do the first scale of a D blues, but then I can continue into higher notes. Okay? 2 octaves of it, alright? And that goes for anything. At some point when you keep practicing, you want to use every note you can going up and every note you can going down. Good. So, pentatonic, blues scale, good. Practice those, and we'll do another one.